you should play The Room Tribute, also known as The Room, the game. You're probably familiar with The Room. It's a pop culture phenomenon at this point. If you aren't, here's the skivvy. Tommy Wiseau loved movies. It was his childhood dream to be in them and live the Hollywood life. So when he came to America, he wrote a script, bought some cameras, cast himself and his best friend in the leading roles, and self-financed the project up to the tune of $6 million. If Hollywood wouldn't accept it, then damn it, he'd make his own movie, with blackjack and hookers. This is the land of opportunity after all, so Wiseau became his own writer, director, actor, producer. This story has been captured in The Disaster Artist, a biopic of the making of The Room based on the book of the same name. Both are highly entertaining and I really recommend that you check them out. The Room itself, however, has been called the Citizen Kane of bad movies, and I tend to agree with that depiction. It's so technically incompetent in every facet that it makes it a thing of beauty. From its lifeless, amateurish script and its nonsensical plot, to its wooden acting and schlocky cinematography, The Room is a beautiful exercise in so bad it's good. It fails so spectacularly that the movie is easily one of the most highly enjoyable films I've ever seen. I've actually paid to watch screenings of it in theaters. It's brilliant. The plot follows Johnny, a banker whose relationship falls apart with his fiancée, and his efforts to navigate the labyrinths of deception, lies, loyalty, and trust within a circle of family and friends. It's supposed to be a drama, but when Wiseau saw audiences laughing at it, he read the writing on the wall and rebranded it as a black comedy. Why it's called The Room has continued to be a conundrum for fans to this day, much like why there are framed photographs of spoons on the end tables in Johnny's apartment. That's become a meme of the movie. Which actually brings us to The Room Tribute. This is a video game adaptation of the movie that, oddly enough, doesn't suffer the fate that most video game adaptations of movies do. That is, that this game is actually really good. Well, good insofar as being a free Flash game on Newgrounds has any right to be good. Yeah, this is a fan project, it's not an official release, which really is probably the reason why the game's so good to begin with. Could you imagine if there was an official tie-in to the movie and what a disaster that would be? Anyways, in this game you recreate the plot of the film, right down to the laughable dialogue and unintentionally hilarious moments.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
But this game is special because it goes above and beyond that. Aside from the fact that the game is wonderfully funny at times, it includes a handful of in-references and expanded storylines that actually attempts to tie up the loose ends from the movie. Things like finding out why Denny was buying drugs in the first place, or why Peter didn't come to Johnny's party are all explained in here. Sure, there are real-life reasons why this wasn't addressed in the movie. Incompetence. But that takes some real dedication to love something so much that you attempt to rectify the continuity errors and delve into the deepest lore that the universe has to offer. Maybe one day Star Wars will get that treatment. The Room Tribute is an adventure game of the point-and-click variety, and an incredibly simplistic one at that. There's only 2 or 3 item-related puzzles, if you can even call them that, and the game is much more interested in letting you explore the setting than to actually stymie your progression. And since it follows the plot progression of the movie, it pretty much guides itself instead of leaving its stupid comments in its pocket. You'll go through the movie's plot from start to finish, all through the eyes of Johnny, meaning that you'll only be seeing scenes from his perspective, which actually makes for a compelling point of view. It's neat to see the story unravel without being privy to certain plot elements that you would otherwise be aware of if you were an audience member. But to make up for this, the expanded story is accompanied by some mild item hunting and secret finding, along with a handful of minigames to spice up gameplay. Reading Denny's journal fills in many of the narrative gaps that you would otherwise miss because Johnny is out there doing his own thing. But this is an Easter egg, and so it's only possible to find this if you actually take the time to explore the game's world and interact with what it has to offer. And that's a key theme in The Room Tribute, exploration. The game is more interested in letting you explore the world of the room rather than just retelling the story. It has private moments that Johnny wishes he could unsee, an entire sequence where you can unleash your rage at anybody who's ever wronged you, including that boss who never gave you the promotion that you deserved, and of course, there's the item hunting. The room has a number of hidden spoons that you can find scattered all over the game world, because of course it does.
I'd like to know, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, what is the significance of the spoons?
The wood spoon. Okay, we not even rehearsed this, but you know about it. Now, in today's society, if you look at plastic spoon, look at how far we go, but at the same time, the symbolism to respond to your question is, plastic is very harmful for your body. But at the same time, if you look at the plastic, what we made in America, let's say 10 years ago compared to today, 2 different things.
That's right.
This game has the deepest lore. Now this might seem like it's just a little bit of inconsequential fluff, but if you manage to find all of these hidden spoons, you get the game's true ending. Because Mark asked him what planet he was on. Get it? Because Tommy Wiseau's an alien. Deepest lore. This game is silly. It pokes fun at the script and the dialogue, and it uses those things as a template for its own brand of humorous gameplay. For instance, it adds a Pokemon-style battle system to the combat scenes, along with taunts that reflect the characters in a tongue-in-cheek way, with Mark being a hedonistic pretty boy and Johnny making his patented cheeping noises.
Chip, 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 chip.
There's also a running through the park minigame, and more appropriately, a football catching minigame, and some really intense sandwich making mechanics. I'm actually really impressed with the amount of clickables they put into this section of the game. But bottom line, the effort put into making this thing equal parts functional and funny should be commended. Honestly, I love it. It's a faithful fan recreation and a really clever way of adapting something as over the top as The Room and turning it into something playable, let alone downright enjoyable. It's only about an hour long and it's a really good time, so if you're a fan of the movie, I suggest you check it out. If you're not a fan of the movie, well, a lot of this is going to fly over your head anyway, so watch the movie first, and if you enjoy it, then play this game. And all of that is why I think you should play The Room Tribute. But since it's a Flash game, it's probably going to be going the way of the dodo. Flash is going to stop getting official support by the end of this year, so you only really have a limited amount of time to try it. Well, that is, unless you install the Newgrounds Flash Player, which is a dedicated program that's supposed to let you keep looking at the content on the website long after Flash is officially canned. I haven't used it though, so I can't swear by it. Alternatively, you can check out Blue Maximus Flash Preservation Project, linked in the description below. This is a project that uses Launchbox to organize and categorize a huge swath of Flash content collected from all over the internet, including games, videos, and other stuff. I'm pretty sure that you can find the Room Tribute in there. You know, I kinda wish it would make its way to a distribution platform or something so that the creators can get paid for making this, even though it'll probably never happen because of licensing issues. But hey, if this will help legitimize that Seinfeld point-and-click adventure game, I'm all for it.